just gonna wait on good old YouTube's end here, make sure everything's working and all that before I get started here. Just always give it like a minute just to make sure everything on YouTube's side is working. Okay. Looks like it might be working. I just got a notification. This, that. Yeah. I think I might have it all working. Just what I need. Get everything pulled up on my side. Alright. Usually I do start with like the start screen, but not today. Today we're just gonna jump right into it. Alright, I'll give it a minute. Everything looks to be running fine. I think the only thing I'm not liking is that I cannot... There we go. I can't see my stream overlay, but I found it. Alright. Hello, viewers, and welcome out to a live stream. This has been our first... we technically did like a mobile live stream for the Pokemon Direct for the 30th anniversary, and we did technically a test live stream a couple days ago that obviously I didn't do like publicly, but this one, I believe, as far as I know, actually I should have checked that before I hit the go live button, but this was public. Yes. I got it all set up correctly. Good job, me. Thought I changed it, but again, it's been a second. But yeah, we're going to talk about just what everything's been kind of going on. Where we've been, why it's been since September since we've recorded, live stream formats, things like that. I wanted to save this all for a live stream format to update it all before, using it in a recorded format. If you're live, you're hearing my actual voice, you guys can interact if you want to. Things like that, all while we're, searching for good old Bulbasaur up there. So first, let's talk about the stream. We are shiny hunting in Pokemon Let's Go Eevee. We are shiny hunting every single route. Kind of similar to the Professor Oak's challenge. But unlike the Professor Oak challenge, we are only in the route we are in before we can press forward. So we caught all the shinies on Route 1 before we can go on to Route 2. It's basically you're locking yourself in the route, catching all the shinies in said route before you can leave it. The only way you're allowed to technically leave the route is to go to the mart to buy more balls, things like that. That is your only reasoning to ever leave the said route you are in, is to just, sell your stuff in order to, keep up on everything like that. So, yeah, that's pretty much the only rule about the route lock, and that's the only difference between a route lock and the Professor Oak's challenge. Like I said, very, very similar, just slightly different. And yeah, what's up, CoralBlocks24? How we doing? Hopefully you're having a good day, night, evening, along with whoever else may end up seeing this. I forgot to kind of say that part. But yeah, like I said, we will update about everything that's been kind of going on and all that other great stuff as well in this video. There'll be a lot to kind of go into and talk about, but at the same point, I'm going to try to do my best not to forget much or address everything that's been kind of going on since, really, I guess, later last year. So yeah, let's, I guess, start with one thing at a time. About, I think it was November range of last year, my computer basically just didn't want to work. The only thing I could access was Microsoft Edge. Nothing else would work. None of the apps would open, none of the, Oh, yeah. Like I said, I recognize the name. And I have a lot of you guys, I know this might sound silly or whatever, But I have a lot of my spares written down to kind of remind myself where they came from, whatever. The ones that definitely interact more, I should correct myself in saying that. The ones that kind of talk to me more throughout the years or things like that. I try to write them down so I don't hard forget some of the ones that I don't always get to often see. So yeah, no. I'm glad to have you back here. Hopefully, like I said, you have a good time. If you don't want to hang out, that's perfectly fine too. Or you want me just in the background while you're doing your chores, whatever. That's also fine. So it's up to you what you want to actually, do with the stream or whatever. But I like having you here and everything like that as we address everything. But yeah, so the computers ended up in hitting the bucket. Basically, I couldn't open up, like say OBS, things like that. I couldn't open up anything. Basically, like I said, if Microsoft Edge would open, I could watch YouTube videos, things like that, but I couldn't, upload streams or anything like that. I could, however, upload recordings, which kind of goes me back to, okay, so why didn't you stream somewhere between September and November? Work heavily picked up during that point. Ended up having to work a lot more during that time frame, to where I just wasn't able to find the freedom in order to stream more than, probably a few minutes. Usually I want my streams to always be at minimum an hour. And with family life, things that needed to be taken care of, going into the holiday season was just going to be, rougher, and I needed to make sure we were planned for, Halloween, Christmas, all that other stuff. Yeah, I was trying to go live, I forget what it was for, but in November, and then that's when I figured out, hey, for some reason my computer is just saying it's running at 100%, but, like I said, nothing was opening, nothing was closing, to where I could try to, lessen the PC stuff and everything like that, but just, just whatever. It was not working out for me, and it put me in a pretty much very hard depressive state, because it was like, well, obviously the only way I can really, play my games is on my computer. Even if I wanted to not do it in the live stream, where I couldn't play, even just, a basic Game Boy game on my computer. It just wasn't allowing it. So, it was like a double depression. As much as I had, my phone to kind of help with some of it and things like that, and I didn't want to go with the mobile stream side of things. It just, I like having the layouts, I like having all this other stuff set for me. Also, another quick thing I forgot to note on here is back in, I think it was early November, maybe it was October, I ended up transporting my stream room out. So I used to have a designated room that I would record content in and everything like that. You see with a green screen and everything like that. We exchanged that out to have more space for basically storage and things like that. Yeah, that also, affected things. So like, where am I going to record, other than a place like what I'm doing right now in a bedroom. And then again, I hope that I'm, doing it at a time and a place that's not going to interrupt anybody, wake anybody up. I know they all kind of say, I won't be, but obviously I can get loud. I don't like, especially with them being younger, I don't like feeling like I'm disturbing sleep or things like that. And as much as they do have, say, school or work or whatever, obviously I use that time. It's kind of like the catch-22. Do I use that time to, catch up on videos I've missed? Do I use that time to catch up on movies I've missed? Do I use that time to do the chores that need done? Do I use that time to, get whatever the house needs, bills, insert things here? It's the juggle of okay, what was my top priority? And it sadly never turned into, oh, let me keep trying to mess with my computer, or hey, let's try to figure out a way to make some worth of content during this time. It just, it was a really busy time all the way through January. But yeah, my PC just kicking the bucket on it put me in a depressive state, and I just kind of gave up. I just kind of stopped, everything. I didn't try to hardcore investigate it, but also I didn't, again, I was just busy with so much other stuff that I was just I'll come back to it when I feel like I'm mentally able to, which wasn't until January when I started trying more, being okay, let me try to see if I tinker with some different things, if I can do stuff. So I offloaded some things, I re-downloaded some stuff, checked all, your Windows updates and your drivers and all this other stuff, downloaded some PC health check apps. It was literally almost to the point where in February, when I was going to go live, for the Pokemon Presents. I was just gonna take it to a PC mechanic person, like someone to kind of like look at it. But even that was like anywhere from the cheapest of $50, which I know is not a lot, to a couple hundred. And I was like, well, at that point, it could be a little bit of a payment toward maybe a new PC, even if it's not, you know, a grander scale, something at least equivalent to, or maybe a year, couple. He's mad at me. Better than what the PC I had, especially since this one had been kicking the bucket on me. And I was like, okay, maybe I'll just, you know, this is my sign to upgrade it. And again, that's just another cost thing, and I wanted to make sure Valentine's Day and Christmas stuff had been paid off, and everything. The finances weren't there to upgrade the computer at the time. So then I got to thinking, I was like, wait a minute, I have this whole Pokemon Black series I had been uploading for a while in the background, so, hang on, sorry, I gotta answer yeah, like, I had this whole Pokemon Black series that I've been uploading in the background. So I was like, well, I can technically still upload via, you know, my old stuff on YouTube on the PC. So I was like, well, I'll just let it run overnight. It was running really stupidly slow motion. It would take, you know, almost a whole day to do the upload for every single upload that I had. So I have, yeah, like I said, pretty much an entire Black series that I would be trying, and then all this other free time that I potentially had, I would be trying to, you know, like I said, mess with the computer, things like that, and it just kept, like I said, either would get worse, or I wasn't finding the magical kink for a good amount of time. Then, yeah, mid-March ran around, and like I said, I kept looking, kept figuring out again, and I would probably have at most throughout your normal month, maybe 3 days worth. I mean, I guess even if I want to go by hours, it was probably ultimately what was worth of maybe anywhere between 5 to 8 hours of time to dedicate to try to like look into it between all the, you know, 30 days of your month. So it'd be like an hour here, 30 minutes here, so, you know, like whatever. I can try and be like, let me see what I can find during this free time. So obviously I want to favor my sleep. I want to whatever. I mean, I work really late at night. I get up really early in the morning for school routines, all that. Like I work until midnight. Even if I'm like dedicated going right to bed, I don't go to bed until 12:30. And usually I'm still up a little bit later than that, doing whatever needs to be done. And then I wake up usually about 6 for school routines, and then they go to work or go to school a little after 7, and then once I'm done with like breakfast and all that, it's probably closer to 8, mid-8, and then between 8 and the time I need to go to work, it's all, you know, whatever needs done at that point. Catching up on stuff, house chores, bills, life stuff. So, yeah, just where back in like, I think it was 2020 range, when we would do it like every single day, minimum 2 hours at a time. Obviously 2020 was COVID time, so I think that was the played a factor, but there's never like a big opportunity for a longer stream time. I mean, even today, I'm only really giving myself an hour. I literally leave for work in less than an hour at this point. I need to do this. The longer I keep not letting myself do it, the longer it's not going to happen. My kids are on spring break right now, and they are actually at their mother-in-law's, so I was like, well, there's going to be no better point. Not that I couldn't do it Saturday or Sunday, potentially as well, but this is going to be the best opportunity. No potential, again, never that I mind them interrupting or things like that, but again, if I'm wanting to talk this out, get it all out, blah, 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 you know, I want to do this as seamlessly as possible, so that way you guys can, you know, hear all that I need to talk about. So if I get too distracted, because if I encounter or to, like, you know, run away, then use my 2 Bulbasaurs. I know it's not a lot, but it's something. yeah, the majority of the problem was just the PC, and I didn't want to just use mobile because, again, mobile limits your stuff you can basically have on the screen. So it'll just be the gameplay with my voice in the background. I can't obviously have like face cams or whatever else that I kind of have on this type of a layout going on. And a lot of people do favor the whole like big screen, maybe small face cam and all the stuff I have going on, but I like having all the information available so you know what we're hunting, how much we've gone for, things like that. I think the only other thing I could tentatively add would be to somewhere on where the Pokemon encounter screen is, having the counter there so you know like how many encounters we're at. But again, obviously that number can easily reset every time we do close the game. Obviously, the chain resets, things like that. So, but yeah, that's something I can mess with at a different day. Yeah, like I said, just with making sure kids are staying good at school and life stuff were being taken care of, I just kept putting it on the back burner. Come mid-March, like I talked about, after the Pokemon Presents and everything like that, realizing basically how much I was setting myself back because I had, stopped basically, as much and realized, well, yeah, now I haven't made for months. It's ultimately going to put me back that much time. Again, it just kept putting me in this, like, oh no, I don't know what to do, I'm just getting further behind, things like that. Things kept hurting more than helping mentally, but again, I just kept trying to push through it. Like, if I can figure it out, then maybe I can, find a way back. Eventually, I found a way for my computer to fully reset, fully, completely basically start itself over. I didn't lose anything of value, anything like that. Luckily, everything I had was already re-uploaded to like either a cloud or a whatever have you, to where it would save. So yeah, it was like, okay, that's a complete new start, nothing, so kind of like reading text, life doesn't stop, so I gotta make sure I'm, staying on top of what is going on in the life, but so no matter what, and I think everybody should understand this, that family is going to come first. My wife and my kiddos are going to come up first, and then obviously whatever needs to be taken care of first at those people. So say bills, going to work, and all that other stuff need to come first right now. Like I said, whenever I started this whole YouTube thing, whether I was doing the YouTube thing or not, I'd be playing these games, doing this same exact stuff. My thought was, why not just put it in front of a camera? Maybe there's someone out there that can use it as an escape, an enjoyment, someone to interact with, something to get some nostalgia with, or just have a good laugh, or a smile, or have on in the background just so they have something going on while they're doing whatever they got going. Just again, it helps them maybe in some way, somehow, even if it's only one person. Or something that'd be really cool. Because again, if I don't do it, via YouTube or whatever, then obviously I'm only doing it for myself. And I was like, well, let's put up there, maybe it'll give somebody something, whatever they need for that time. Like I said, it's just their background noise. It's their, gives them a little smile here and there. Gives them, someone to interact with, to vent out, or whatever. Hear maybe similar issues, or again, they really love Pokemon. They love seeing Pokemon stuff, so it just makes them feel stuff. What is going on? It's going to the screen now. No, see, I'm going. I'm gonna have to run this wrong. Now actually it was straight, but it's just there we go. To like figure out the secret direction. But yeah, once I got the computer stuff figured out to where it was running normally, then, like I said, that late March was like, I'm gonna test one thing at a time. Test me trying to do a recording on there, so I did that first. And then, late March, I did the test of how a stream would run. Obviously, again, it's not going to work 100%, because again, it's not using all the other factors that play into it. But it seemed like everything was running health-wise. Like, nothing was even flirting with making my computer run any staggeredly, things like that. I think the only negative so far that I have seen since, pre-reset to now is that, like, the Gen 6, 7 games, I don't know about 8 and stuff, I've never tried Switch games, I guess you should say. The 3DS games, we'll just call it that way. Are running a little bit more staggeredly than they used to. Used to be able to run them, near, at minimum, 2 times the speed. Now I'm lucky if I'm getting 1.5 times the speed. It's still faster, ultimately. It's still going to be faster than playing the actual natural game itself. But we're going to just, take my 3DS out and try to capture it via that way. So ultimately it's, going to be fine, but so it's like, it's a little bit more, whatever. Because my thought was like, oh, if it does keep running really slow, because there was one point it was only running at, like, half speed. I was just going to record my gameplay, speed up the gameplay section, and then add my commentary later. Do all that I could do with it being in slow motion, and then speed up the, the gameplay footage, and then add my commentary afterward on what was going on the screen. But I just feel like, again, I like having the live interaction to what I'm seeing actively happening on the screen. I don't like having to do, oh, well, we'll record it and then react afterwards. I just feel like you get the, we'll pet the Eevee, so he's... No, you want that? You want scratches here? Okay, so now you're happy, see? Right. We all got the Eevee happy. So he's not pouting anymore. The other thing I thought to do for this stream was to use my lure to make the multiple swords bigger, a little bit more, whatever, but I figured with only having an hour, it wasn't fair to do so. I'm going to go more all out with the shiny hunting. I wanted to have a little bit more time. So I'm already seeing I'm limiting myself even more so than what I thought. I thought I would have at least till like 11:45. Now I'm having a little less time. Again, life's got to come first, so... But yeah, majority, like I said, the reason we had to step away while we were away for so long is just that the computer was not working. I was not finding enough time to dedicate to it to, really try to figure out, what was going on. Once I did find said way to do so, I don't know, say back when, if I would have been able to figure all that out with the time I had, maybe would have saved maybe a month and a half, 2 months, really. Because again, I'm saying, like, I would still have to investigate it all. Even if I were to go magically to the right place immediately, I think it would still have taken me near a month to get it, active. And again, that would have put me right around November, December time, which is, heavy Christmas prepping month and everything like that, decorations, whatever else have you, so... feeling like I'm more active in what is going on around with my family than being passive. If that makes sense. Another sneeze up in there, but it's not happening. Other issues you guys probably do, I mean, we've talked about it before. My Switch, the one I'm running on, has charger issues that they use like a very specific cord. I can't use the dock or things like that. They use like basically 4 hookups to get it to even like record to like. If it worked normally, I could just slide in the dock. The dock has an HDMI reader to my computer. But because the dock, it's not reading the dock, it has to have the specific wire. Well, the specific wire has to connect to a device, basically. I don't know the device's name, but basically like a screen capture device. That also now has a wire that connects to the computer, and yeah, it's basically I had 3 wires. We'll just say that to capture the Switch right now. And it's a just under $200 repair to potentially fix what is wrong with it. But I'm like, well, that's a good, down payment toward the Switch too. So I'd rather go that route, make my OG Switch just be a handheld fun device for the kiddos, and then eventually get a, Switch 2, having, that as my, like I said, down payment is something I can get enough that I just have easily. Also, the way to spend $200, I don't. If I did, I probably would have just been like, oh, I'll just, upgrade my PC. There's something up there, but I guess not. So, what it is about life nowadays, but it just feels like no one wants to actually, stay at a job and think, oh, I'll just find something better, I'll stay there for like a month tops and find every way to complain about what's wrong with it, not actually, really see the benefits, or just think there's something else better out there, or just go for the money side, or whatever. So we had a lot of people either, whether because of retirement or just trying to find a better paying job, leave my work too, so that obviously added to stress levels. That's the way to do it. Change because of this. Really probably should do an inventory check. I don't know what last time I've done on this. For some reason I thought we had stuff. We don't. To be 1,000,000% honest, much as I could probably have better dedication to trying to find a way to get back. Once everything kind of just snowballed or whatever you want to call it, I just started favoring just going to sleep more than doing anything else, really. It just seemed easier to just sleep it away than figure out whatever I wanted to try to figure out for a good while. Yeah, I'm not saying those were good decisions, but it's just what seemed to be right at that time, just to get myself back. And I know it took a lot longer than I probably could have, or would have, or whatever you want to throw in there, but ultimately, it might be for the better. a lot of the recorded format that I have also is during that state of time, so some of it's not like 100% usual recorded self. So use it a little bit more, you know, whatever, dorky as I call it. But again, that will come back, and all that will come back in recorded format as well. Obviously, I have a lot of projects that I still want to get done. Obviously, with now Gen 10 being delayed until next year, there's a higher chance of getting it done, but, you know, it's still, there's a lot on the plate, and as it still stands, still not like the greatest amount of time to do it. Most of maybe have an hour, hour and a half, maybe of time sometimes. Besides, if I try to really work myself hard to give myself more time for a future day. Obviously, the one that I'm currently doing is my biggest series hurdle, is this, but it is something. Eventually, I did say, like, oh, I could be just playing it in the background, and we continue shiny hunting on the side. You know, I just have Joy-Con in my hand, this is going while I'm doing whatever else have you. That's probably honestly what this will eventually turn into. I just don't know when or don't plan for it just yet. But eventually, yeah, like I said, I want to get Y going again, which was our live stream we had, I think, last, back in September. Going back to there, picking up from where we left off on. And obviously making sure all the rest of X goes up. Gen 7, Gen 8, Gen 9 still to do, plus Gen 5. Disconnection. I thought that, to be honest with you. Doesn't show any frame drops or anything like that. It's about the 30-minute mark too that it hit. So I think I don't know what caused that. Maybe something on YouTube's end, I'm gonna hope. I've only tested recorded stuff for up to an hour or so. I know I haven't tested a live stream worth of stuff, but we can do live streams, and then we can do longer live streams, and maybe the returning of the super long live streams, you know. We'll see. One step at a time. Obviously, the easiest to get done will be the recorded format stuff, even if I only can record for like 15 minutes, we'll say. You know, I could put it and then edit it together with the next time that I can record type deal. Recorded format I can do staggeredly. So, hey, I'm giving me sad faces every time I accidentally press the button. They literally have this perfect barrier triangle right here. It's like, nope, if you want to go out of the forest, you must run into an encounter. Like I said, I'm not going to ask anybody to understand it or, you know, whatever else have you. If you don't, it's fine. If you do get it, awesome, respect you, you know, thank you for that. But also, if you don't, exit, respect your opinion. It's your choice what you feel, how you feel about it. Yeah, again, I just feel like even if I did do the mobile side and found I wouldn't, I guess, have liked it as much. I like being able to, you know, comfortably record and know everything's just how I want it to be for me. And again, it's not saying I won't maybe change things up for certain viewers, less viewers, but to be we obviously have done certain streams where we just have done straight gameplay, nothing else in the background, you know, interrupting from that. So right now it's 11:20 basically, so I can go for another 20 minutes. So it'll be about right at 55, maybe if I go the entire time. So I'll eventually try to get back up to where, I mean, I couldn't do it right now, but get more, you know, different music playing than just the game music and things like that too. And again, I just wanted to start with the bare basics, start with the basics, work our way up, longer streams, different, you know, interactive things, whatever else have you. We tested this a bit on the non-public live stream, but it is public now. You can actually find the live stream that I didn't initially have public. Testing like, is it better to run out of the gate? Is it better just to stand here and wait for Bulbasaur? Is it better to run into all these Pokemon or Bulbasaur spawns? There seems to be none of them seem to make him appear. I just know going in and out of the gate has the most spawns that. Technically, one Bulbasaur away from potentially Bulbasaur appearing a little bit more frequently. I can tell you the bad news now. I can tell you closer to end of stream. Might as well just tell you it now, right? Jim, that whenever the stream does end, the chain we have going, no matter how big or small, will be broken. Until I get an additional switch or a more attributable way to do this again, the chains will probably not stay, to be honest with you. There might be a time here or there where we can keep the chain going, but as it stands right now, I do not see that happening. Heard him somewhere. Let's find him. Changing moves to a fun direction did not help me in any way. Just, you know, stand there nicely. We are officially at 10 Bulbasaur, but until we hit 11, the odds won't increase for the first time. Now we might tentatively see Bulbasaur a little bit more often. You see it a little bit more after 10, and you see it a little bit more after 20, and you see it the most after 30. Yeah. You and the Bulbasaurs now. Increased odds. Oh yeah, look at these Bulbasaurs now. there's no more struggle. Took us about 40 minutes to get the Bulbasaur counter up, so I mean not the greatest number, but we only have like maybe 10 minutes of increased Bulbasaur fun. But again, the next one is truly our longer than our one, and that one I don't mind using the lure straight away. Can't even get over to Bulbasaur, there's so many Pokemon in the way. You're going to catch me! I'm gonna keep being in your way, I'm Bellsprout! Hello, Bulbasaur. Sorry it took me so long, there was a plant around me. Ooh. How many Bulbasaurs we'll get up to? My initial gut says right about 20 something, but we'll see. Something beat the Spear record. I hope not, but there's that one like 1% of me that's like, I'd like to see the 99999, the max out encounter thing happen. Bulbasaur are similar way to Pikachu attack. Drifting lazily to the left is not ideal. So it's a stretch of super comfortable position. Bulbasaur away from our next shiny odds in race. Also, I don't think I addressed this earlier in the stream. We are going in too. Because I know there was a talk like this. Technically, there's the route left of Viridian that's before Brock. But the route numbered, that route wouldn't be until you go toward, I don't even know, the Elite Four, it's like 20 something. So that was the longest we'd wait for a little bit. But yeah, we're just gonna go literally by route numbers too. So route 1, route 2, route 3, route 4. And then if there's a, for example, like this, a route in between the routes, we do that as well. Maybe 4 minutes maybe left here. Right about 11:30. Enough time to get ready for work and everything. I've officially jumped into our next increase here, which makes us now at 1 in what, 400-ish odds. Pushing back. So we can stream this. Some more things to sell. Pokemon go? Yo, where'd the Pokemon go? I'm gonna go do a little reset. Oh, there he was. I heard his cry right when I knew that was eventually gonna happen. Alright, hit the door the second I heard his cry. That was probably a shiny, dude. No. No. Don't hit me with that. Let's see. Cathedral land. Scoping the land. Bulbasaur. That's not Bulbasaur, that's Bellsprout. It's a different enunciation. Thank you. Run animation, run animation, run animation. First time I've seen that. Not necessarily give up my tuning, but like, it's hopefully going to end. But I'll have to make it end. That'd be nice. This is the last Bulbasaur check. Catch this one, see if the next one's shiny. If not, then we will ribbity wrap it up. I hope you guys did enjoy the return to live streaming. And I don't know 100% what the next one will be as it stands. Shiny, sadly. But I am saying it is returning. Again, it could be literally as early as later tonight, or as late as, I don't know. Ideally, I'm going to go live later tonight with Pokemon Y, bring that back. I might go to the Pokemon Center, I need to go to Mart. to sell my items. You weirdly have exactly 30 volts worth. Alright, so we're wrapping up. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you did subscribe, like all that other great stuff. I'd love to see you guys in the next video stream, whatever it may be. This is going to be the Mutt Gamer signing out. The comic.